everyone, and welcome to the Week 9 edition of Instant Replay, where I give you my take on the most controversial plays of the weekend. I'm Simon Borg. We start in Toronto, where the local side beat the Houston Dynamo 2-0, and there was a question about TFC's opening goal in the 16th minute, and namely whether Raheem Edwards was offside before delivering the cross to teammate Josie Altidore. When we freeze frame it, it does seem like he's ahead of the last Houston defender, AJ De La Garza, but assistant referee Joe Fletcher keeps the flag down, and the goal stands. Next up, Orlando, where it wasn't just referee Robert Sabiga handing out the cards, but I think they should have all had a different color card in the 36th minute after this tackle by Orlando's Matias Perez Garcia on Colorado's Mohamed Said. I thought it endangered the safety and deserved a red, but Sabiga, who was right there, opts for the yellow card. We saw a similar play in Montreal involving the Impact's Hernan Bernardello and Vancouver's Christian Techera, and I thought this too was a case of endangering the safety, warranting a red card. But referee Drew Fisher decided yellow was the right sanction. And I felt Vancouver's Kendall Waston also got off easy in the 60th minute when he doesn't even come close to the ball and delivers this kick on Impact forward Anthony Jackson-Amel, who was on the ground. No foul called on the play. A yellow card did come out on Vancouver's Matias Laba in the 65th minute for stopping a promising attack when he brought down Montreal's Dominic Oduro. But was this a case of simulation? Keep in mind the Van Damme Portland Timbers double yellow from a few weeks back. You don't necessarily need contact for a foul to be committed. But the question here is whether Laba did enough to force Oduro to leap to avoid the contact. I didn't think so, but that's a judgment call. Just one play from Minnesota where the Loons wanted referee Ted Uncle to call a penalty in the 42nd minute. But to me, this is a case of Minnesota's Kevin Molino running into San Jose's Victor Bernardez. Great no call by Uncle. To Seattle, where the Revs had a 3-0 lead, and in the 66th minute, they thought they should have had a penalty on top of that. Midfielder Scott Caldwell looks like he's about to make a play on the ball when Seattle's Clint Dempsey charges from behind. Caldwell protests, but no call from referee Alan Chapman. Now the Sounders came all the way back to tie the match at 3-3 with 2 minutes remaining, and the Revs were calling for an offside on the equalizing header by Ozzy Alonso. But I think this is good refereeing by assistant Apolinar Mariscal. Alonso looks even with the last defender on the flick header. In Columbus, Maxi Morales deserved a straight red in the 85th minute. Check out how he raises that right arm and swings it into Will Trapp's face. Based on the angle of the arm, I didn't feel this was incidental. Penso calls the foul, but no cards come out. Lots to get to in Dallas, and we start with the opening goal scored by the Portland Timbers' Falendo Adi in the 30th minute. And this was controversial on 2 separate counts, and you see one of the FC Dallas assistants even gets sent off for protests. Let's look at it again. First, there's the foul that led to the free kick. The infraction did not come in the moment when Dallas midfielder Kellen Acosta won the ball. You see, referee Baldomero Toledo brings it back to the spot of the initial foul on Portland's Dairon Asprilla. The ref had momentarily allowed for advantage. So the free kick was awarded and was expertly taken by David Guzman, but was Adi offside on the play? Really tough to say from the pictures we have, so the benefit of the doubt goes to assistant Corey Parker. It's 1-0 Portland when Tesho Akindele goes down in the box, and I thought he had position on Portland defender Liam Ridgewell, who clatters into the forward. I would have gone penalty, but the referee says play on. To LA, where I thought Galaxy center back Jelle Van Damme risked big time when he sent his arm into CJ Sapong in the 76th minute. Here's why. He was already sitting on a yellow, and I think an argument can be made that he swung his arm recklessly, thus deserving a second yellow. Referee Alan Kelly doesn't pull out the cards. And how about Van Damme's teammate, right back Bradley Diallo, who was beaten to this ball in the box, but follows through with his shot anyway, nailing Union center back Jack Elliott in the shins with his studs. He gets a yellow from Kelly, but I would have gone straight red. Then, toward the end of the match, LA's Jermaine Jones hits the deck in the Union box. But I think this is a good no call. I don't see a foul by Fabinho there. To Atlanta, and the surprising win by DC United 3-1, and the third goal by DC's Sebastian Letou had a hint of a potential offside. But on this new angle, which is a little wider, you can see that Letou looks like he's level with the last defender when the pass leaves the foot of his teammate Lucho Acosta. Assistant referee Jonathan Johnson is in line with the play, and he keeps his flag down. Great call. To the 82nd minute, when Yamil Assad was involved in a controversial play where he swipes his right elbow across the face of DC's Lloyd Sam. Assad gets a yellow from the referee, but I think that was worthy of a straight red. And Assad did get a 1-game suspension and a fine from the MLS Disciplinary Committee. The game between the Red Bulls and Chicago Fire also had an elbow incident, and it involved Chicago Fire star Bastian Schweinsteiger, who looked to me like he cocked his left elbow and released it into the chest of New York's Felipe. The two players get a talking to from referee Hilario Grajeda. The Fire lost 2-1, but should they have had a penalty 10 minutes before halftime? This is a great spot by KM Douglas on Twitter. The Fire's Luis Solinac is attempting to deliver a cross to teammate Nemanja Nikolic, but the shot is deflected by Kamar Lawrence. Now, on most defensive slide tackles in that case, that right arm is on the ground. In the case of Lawrence here, his right elbow is elevated, and I'd argue he's making himself as big as he can to block the shot by Solinac. No call by the referee as Solinac himself continues play. And we end in rainy Kansas City, where there were a handful of tough challenges in the Sporting KC Real Salt Lake match, and we'll highlight a couple here that I thought arguably deserved the ultimate punishment. First, in the 10th minute, Real Salt Lake's Chris Schuler takes out Sporting's Gerso. A foul is called, but no cards issued by referee Jose Carlos Rivero. Now, for me, the force and the angle of the tackle makes this worthy of a straight red for endangering the safety. And the MLS Disciplinary Committee felt the same way, issuing a 1-game suspension and a fine to Chris Schuler for serious foul play that endangered the safety of an opponent. Fast forward to the 54th minute, and this incident between league veterans Yura Movsisyan and Roger Espinoza. Both players came away with a yellow, but I thought this was more of an elbow by Movsisyan than a flailing arm. Then in the 69th minute, it's the turn of Sporting Kansas City's Graham Zusi with a tackle I thought also endangered the safety of RSL's Joao Plata. The referee opts for the yellow. And we end with a sequence you just don't see every day. RSL score what they thought was a momentary equalizer, but the referee sees something he doesn't like, namely that the shot deflects off Joao Plata, who was in an offside position. But the flag from assistant referee Anthony Vasoli never went up, so Rivero goes over for a chat, but not before spraying a line on the ground so the players can't eavesdrop. And the flag eventually does come up, the whistle is sounded, and the goal is disallowed for offside. And for my money, that's the best decision of the week. Let us know what you think of these plays in the comments, and until next week, for our editor Rich Hernandez, I'm Simon Borg. See you next time!